Ron Stringer here, hounding at you about MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. DJ Scribble Scrap in the back, where you at? I left off on The Incredible Hulk. The next movie after that is Iron Man 2. But before I go any further...
Warning, this content contains extreme spoilers and beyond.
The icing on the cake, I must talk about the endgame. Avengers Endgame. Because that's what's jumping right now. Now I've seen it. Of course, this is one of those movies you cannot get. It's so much jam-packed into it. You can't get it all. Well, you can, but not on just one viewing. For me, 1.5. It was outrageous. I never seen a movie like that. Everything, everywhere. Like, not all at once, though. Thanos gets murdered in the beginning. Captain Marvel. Now, she is a real powerhouse. Like, really. I knew from fans of comics, it would take someone like Captain Marvel.
Oh, and this one time?
Carol Danvers and company. For some reason, War Machine jumps into the fray on the word of a new Inhuman, confronting attack Thanos. War Machine gets a hole punch through him. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, mourns James Rhodes, aka War Machine's death. Captain Marvel loses an eye due to Thanos, and then She-Hulk's dead due to Thanos. She took a blow from Thanos, and she just stood there like she had a force field around her or something. He didn't even connect. He had to use the Power Stone on her. She would have probably kicked his ass, like by herself, or Adam Warlock. Hopefully they bring him out. He was in like the last Guardians movie. He was the end credit. Well, the gold, I forget that.
I think I shall call him.
But he's supposed to be one of them anyway. Perfect being.
Adam.
Thanos is a lot more pumped up in the comic, but Captain Marvel is also. I'm not going to talk too much about Endgame. Yes, I am. The Hulk, he was Dr. Green, Professor Hulk, whichever you want to call him. He was pretty good in the movie. Ant-Man was, everybody had their time to shine in this movie. Captain America wields Mjolnir. And then there's a part where Thor, Fat Thor, he has Mjolnir, and Captain America has Stormbreaker. He's like, here, you get the little one. Like, that is funny. There's so much in there. Iron Man thought Rocket was a Build-A-Bear. And Iron Man, he was acting like a bitch. Language! When he got saved, like it was Captain America's fault. He wasn't on Titan. Like, who the fuck knew he was going to Titan? How was he supposed to get there? Outrageous. And he mad at Captain America, talking about we were supposed to be there. Well, how? Captain ain't say shit. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to get to your language? I didn't know you was on Titan. I was down here fighting the hordes of those things with all the arms and stuff. Like, and they make a reference to the Big Lebowski because of Thor's appearance. All the females just stood together, and I was like, is that A-Force? A-Force is an all-female group. It's She-Hulk, Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel. We've been friends for a long time, so I get to call her by her name. And some obscure characters I don't know. Maybe they were made up. Like Nico, whatever her last name is. She was from the Runaways. And their story in the comics is really good. After that, I don't know what happened to them. They all get scattered. Some don't even get used anymore. All the Avengers had their own times to shine in this movie, though. Yep. Iron Man. Scarlet Witch. She definitely gets her shine on. The whole Wakanda returns with Black Panther, Shuri, and the other lady. Captain America, we already talked about. Thor, of course, he gets his shine on. Captain America actually saved his ass. Now, Hawkeye and Black Widow, they don't really get time to shine, but they do get a dedicated moment in the movie. Because, you know, they are like friends or something way back. And in this movie, Hawkeye, you know, last we saw him, he was on house arrest with his family. So that was cool. And in this movie, he lost his family. So he stopped giving a fuck and started murdering bad guys, criminals. Like just murdering them. They don't actually show you the murder, but they allude to it when War Machine, James Rhodes, tells Black Widow that we can tell that Barton did this, because his name's Clint Barton. And by the looks of bodies, I don't want to find him. Anyhow, they get their own scene dedicated to them because they are tasked to get the Soul Stone. And if you remember how to get the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice something you love. So those two were there trying to fight it out to see who's going to sacrifice themselves. Black Widow felt as though you got a family, so you need to stay here for them. I don't have anybody, so I'm going to sacrifice myself. So as we know, like Hawkeye, he always, to most people, been a buster because he's just a guy with a bow and arrow. And, you know, they fought, and she won because he can't beat her. So, like, we learned that from way back in the first Avengers movie when she knocked the mind control out of his ass. Of course, Thanos was there. He brought back his army, the Outriders, the Black Order, Gamora, Nebula, everyone. It was pretty excellent. Yeah, the word excellent comes to mind. This movie is mind-blowing. Trust me. No more Tony Stark. I just got finished talking about what was they gonna do with Robert Downey Jr. Just got finished talking about it. He's gone. And Spider-Man, he got his time to shine with instant kill mode. I would have never thought he would have got to use that. And then he's gonna go off to fight some kind of elemental villain with Mysterio. Usually he fights Mysterio, but it seems to be this movie they may team up, or maybe he becomes a villain at the end. You know how these things go. But this movie takes place not long after Endgame, so, you know, after fighting Thanos and all of his whole crew, this should be a walk in the park for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Nothing else can compare. Like, who the fuck is this guy? I was in a Thanos war with Thanos. Like, get the hell out of here. The Guardians. Thor is going to join the Guardians. Now, I've heard other people say, because I don't know everything about comics, but there's a such thing as Guardians of the Galaxy. He says that very thing. For some reason, I don't like Falcon. And now he's going to be Captain America. Because Cap fucked up and stayed behind in time and lived his life. I don't know. Yeah, this movie had a lot of time travel in there. And it was excellent. I like time travel in movies. Like that time in Harry Potter. Like, time travel kind of explains things. Like when they use it to explain things. Like in Harry Potter, why was things happening? What was it? Prisoner Azkaban. You find out because they were there in time. But they didn't actually mess things up. Well, when they went, they kind of messed things up, and it was all too funny. Captain America fighting Captain America. I could do this all day. Yeah, I know. And that elevator scene, that was just excellent. That is what they call fan service. I'm a fan, so I knew what was going on. Basically, there was a time not too long ago where Captain America was a part of Hydra. Like, everything was Hydra at this time. So in the Winter Soldier movie, they tried to take Captain America in. Of course, he knew about it in the elevator. The elevator. But instead of him beating everybody up in the elevator, he takes his knowledge from the future, like, oh, these guys work for Hydra, so he's got the staff and they trying to get it from him, but he's like, no, I got it. And he goes to whisper to the fake agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and say, Hail Hydra in his ear. He's like, whoa, okay, we didn't know it was like that. So they let him have it, and then he had to fight himself. Hawk on the steps, Hawk taking the stairs, because they wouldn't let him get on the elevator because he, over the weight capacity. So he was pissed. So he got down the steps, knocked future Tony ass right the fuck out. It was funny as hell. But I was thinking about this. What if people were on those steps when Hawk was coming down them? I'm pretty sure they got murdered. Like, he wouldn't have stopped for them, I don't think. And he was upset that he had to take the steps. Yeah. So, I think I've spent 10 minutes on this. I'm going to chop it up and edit. It's not going to be 10 minutes long because I'm supposed to be talking about Iron Man 2, which is, out of all the Iron Man movies, my favorite. And this concludes my second entry into the For Beginners videos. The MCU for Beginners. Marvel Cinematic Universe for Beginners. And